Wondering what the perfect place is to live that's halfway between the mountains and halfway to Las Vegas? I'm going to tell you about it right now.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive.
In this video, I'm going to tell you about Skye Canyon, the master plan community in the northwest part of Vegas. It's about 17 miles from Mount Charleston. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Mount Charleston in the summer and in the winter. And it's about the equal distance to that to Las Vegas. So you really can have one foot inside Las Vegas and one foot ready to hit the mountains at any time of the year. And it's a great place for you to explore and check out. And if you're wondering what the real estate's like, that's what we're going to go over in this video coming up next. And what the master plan community has is it has parks, it has all kinds of recreation, pools, community facilities, fitness areas, swimming pools, basketball courts, pickleball courts, playgrounds, dog parks. I mean, they have planned the entire community. And then there's all kinds of little sub-communities little gated communities with different builders, and you can get all kinds of different options. And then you're actually 17 miles from Mount Charleston. So Mount Charleston is a great place for Las Vegans to go in the summer and in the winter. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to tell you all about the summer and the winter and take you on one of my favorite hikes. The first community, we're going to take a little bit closer look and go through a couple of different models. We're going to start with the Century communities. This is just two of the communities that they have up there. This is the Contero and the Contero 2. Now in this community, the HOA fee is $50. And like I said before, the master plan community for Skye Canyon is $83 a month, giving you a total of $133 per month. The SID balance on this one is $7,100, and that has an annual total of $539 due each year. Now, some of the main features that come standard with the Century homes, they do the paver walks and driveways. That's completely standard, and that makes for a really beautiful look. They also have the 9-foot ceilings on the main and the upper floors, 17 by 17 ceramic tiling flooring, of course, in the entry, kitchen, laundry, and bathrooms as standard. A 15-SEER central AC unit, tankless hot water heater, and they also have some home automation things that are included, like the Google Home Nest and the electronic front door lock. So you can see that as a median price for August of 2022 in Las Vegas is $450,000. This gives you a pretty good idea of what you can get for the $450 range. There in these two communities, it starts at $450 and goes up to $525 for a little bit of the larger models. Now with new home construction and new home developments, you'll have what's called a SID or a LID, which is a special improvement district. And when you build a new house and a new development, the builder will pass along some of the fees for making sidewalks, lighting, streets, that sort of thing that you have in your community, and they pass along to each individual homeowner. And in this case, in the Century homes, for example, it's $7,000. And you don't have to pay that all up front. You pay about $500 annually. So that is another fee that you have to think about when you're buying new construction. But you do get the warranties, you get a beautiful brand new house, and you also get some of the improved layouts and some of the more modernized things, and you can finance that, so it makes it a pretty good deal. One other tip that you might want to consider if you're looking for a new build is to look for standing inventory. So standing inventory is houses that already have some portion of the build process in motion. So sometimes they continue building them out and they could select some of the upgrades and some of the features for you because they're continually to build it, but they haven't gotten a buyer yet on that exact property because they're building out that section of the development. So sometimes they'll add in some extra incentives because they want to make sure by the time that one is open and ready for someone to move in that they actually do have a buyer and it doesn't stand there without somebody living in it. So that's one thing, is standing inventory. And other times maybe the buyers have fallen out, so they've gone through and picked some of the features, and so you'll get a certain thing, and sometimes they usually discount those, so that actually gives you a little bit of a bonus. Sometimes the features may be something you wouldn't have wanted, but maybe it'd be more than you wanted, and you kind of get a little bit of a discount on it. So that's something to look at when going to a new build. When you're starting at picking a lot, it does have a little bit more lead time. So you pick the lot, they start on that section of the development, and then they build it up from there. You get to pick everything you want because you're really starting at the very beginning. But sometimes standing inventory, whether it's completely finished or it's almost close to finish or it's well in process and some of the features have already been selected, sometimes those have really great incentives, and that's a great way to get some extra upgrades and not have to pay the full retail prices if you started with a dirt lot. Now, the second builder we're going to take a look at is Toll Brothers. They are a premium builder here in Las Vegas. And two of the communities that they're currently selling out of is the Palermo and the Valero. So I wanted to show you a little bit of what your options are if you're looking at the Toll Brothers in Skye Canyon. Now, their pricing is starting in the $550 range. It does go all the way up to $750. In the $550 range, you're looking at 2,263 square feet. When you go up to the top end, on their $750 range, you're looking at 3,682 square feet. We toured all of the models, and I'm going to show you one on the lower end, and I'm also going to show you one on the higher end, just to see what kind of things that you're going to get with the Toll Brothers. Now, the Toll Brothers community, they do have a $75 HOA. That includes the gate, and they do have a private community pool that they're going to have once it's complete. And then that's in addition to the master plan community of Skye Canyon, which was $83 a month. And that includes all the fitness classes, the other community pools, parks, and all that kind of thing. So let's take a look at what Toll Brothers looks like. Now, one of the things when you buy a new build or you're looking at model homes for a new build is to realize the model homes are not what comes standard. So getting that information from the builder right away before you go into looking at the model homes is always helpful, because then you can kind of determine, who couldn't fall in love with some of these model homes? Now, many times they'll have standard tile in the wet areas like the bathrooms and kitchens and entryways. But then you'll see the long plank flooring and you'll see the finished backyards. Now, this finished backyard that you can see here, that's all add-ons. So even sometimes the patio cover isn't standard. So some of the things you just have to look at. You fall in love with a model home and you'll see what the price points are where they start at. Like this one starts at $599. That is not for as you see it now. So there's lots of different upgrades with the flooring, and there's upgrades with the kitchen and of course the backyard. Most of the time with new builds, the backyards are completely blank. And you can get some really great design ideas. I mean, even for some of the feature walls are not just painted. Looks like this one has the wood paneling, which is kind of a neat feature. And then you have, of course, all the decor items, which are really perfectly placed and the correct size and everything for that. So it's really kind of gives you inspiration. So I like to look at them for inspiration. Now, you might not do all of these things. Maybe you don't do them all at once. Even the super shower situation. Now that's an upgrade, but that is kind of, usually they have a separate shower and then maybe a garden tub separate. That's pretty much standard in many builds, but the super shower is kind of a new feature, and I think that's really a great walk-in, and they take that whole space and make it into one giant shower, which is really a great feature. So there's some really cool ideas, some really good upgrades that need to be thought about and looked at when you're looking at the models, and if you're determining whether you're going to buy one of the new homes, this is something to really keep in mind. Because we now are entering into a buyer's market, it's a great time to be looking at new builds because now the buyers have a little bit more control over the negotiation. And before, they didn't have much control over the negotiation, whether buying a resale home or a new build. But now the builders are really stepping up, as well as all the other sellers as well, but especially the builders. Since they have a lot of financing that's done in-house, they give you incentives to go with their financing. So sometimes they'll be doing rate buy downs for you on your behalf. They can give you money towards closing costs. If you use their inside lender, you have a little less control for sure over your lending process, but they are sometimes able to offer you some incentives. And one of the reasons a lot of people go with the inside lender of the builder is because they offer incentives for upgrades. So many times they'll offer tens of thousands of dollars in upgrades. So if you do want the plank flooring, if you do want some of the upgraded features, maybe an upgraded granite or tile backsplash or any of the stuff that doesn't come standard, or if you want just a little bit nicer level of some of these features by going to the design center, that you can get $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 towards your design center credit for any of the upgrades that you want. So there's a lot of negotiation that's now starting to be able to be had, back to the good old days when you used to be able to negotiate. So it's good to have a little bit of power in that so you can kind of get some of these upgrades that you want. So when you do look at some of the new builds, you can look at the model homes and go, okay, well, I can budget a little bit of this money because they might be able to credit me back some of this. One thing that people don't realize when they're just driving around and they might get a sign that catches their eye and they decide, oh, let's go in and take a look at those model homes. Actually, if you do that, you're actually not working in your best interests. Because when you go in there, the agent on site actually is representing the builder. They're not representing you. Even if they show you around and tell you about some of the features and some of the incentives, they're actually not representing you. They're working to get the best deal for the builder. So anytime you want to look at new builds, it's always a good idea to make a plan and go out with your realtor on your first visit to the community. And they do register you and keep track of your details. And this is very important because if you don't bring your realtor along on the first visit when you register, then your realtor will not be representing you. And you will be going, as they consider it, unrepresented, because that agent will fill out the paperwork for you, but they're basically filling out the paperwork on behalf of the builder. And you're not going to get as good of a deal, and you won't be represented and having somebody help you guide you through the process and helping you figure out what is the best thing, what's negotiable, what isn't negotiable, because they're actually working for the builder. So that's something to keep in mind. So always remember, take your realtor first when you're going to look at new home builds. One of the great advantages of living in Skye Canyon is you're just 17 miles away from Mount Charleston. So Mount Charleston's a fantastic place to enjoy in the summer because you can go 20 to 30 degrees cooler in just 17 minutes from Skye Canyon. And I'm going to show you some of my favorite hikes up there so you can see what kinds of things are available and what it looks like in the summer. It's beautiful and it's so much cooler. It really gives you an idea if you just want to go up there for a hike or a picnic, or if you just want to go for a cool drive and get outside of your car in the summer. And I'm here with my trusty pal, Wonder Dog. Say hi, Wonder Dog. Oh, now he's camera shy. He's got a lot to say normally, but we're up here at Mount Charleston doing some beautiful hiking and enjoying ourselves. It's a great place to walk your dog in the summer because it's cool, it's nice, it's beautiful. Tons and tons of trails and beautiful trees. And we're going to get up and check out the ridge line as well and see some views. And you can even see Vegas from here. Enjoying this beautiful weather, 75 degrees, totally beautiful, middle of August. Here we're on the top of Wild Horse Ridge. And just over there is Las Vegas. You can't see it really good today, but we're just 30 minutes away and we're in the middle of a beautiful mountain forested area. It's beautiful up here and it's great weather. 30 minutes away, so whoever tells you that you can't do anything outside in Vegas is lying. So after Thanksgiving, Christmas time, you can go up there. We'll have some snow. You can go snowboarding. You can go skiing. If you just want to take the kids for an afternoon and go sledding and then maybe go to the lodge and get a hot cocoa or something like that, you can do that. And then just come back to Vegas. Perfect weather in January and February here. People come from all over to enjoy our great weather. But you can still go up, get some snow, and even be home for dinner. You're interested in this community, please let me know. I'd be happy to share with you more information, get you more details on any specific houses. And if you're in Vegas or coming to Vegas and you'd like to see any of them in person, contact me and we can go out for a day and enjoy seeing some of these model homes in person and learn a little bit more about the details and making an offer. If you enjoyed this video tour and learning a little bit more about the northwest part of Vegas and Skye Canyon, we do different communities each week and each month. And so don't forget to like and subscribe, and you'll be the first to know when a different community comes out, so you can figure out how you can not just survive in Vegas, but thrive in Vegas and live beyond the Strip.
A new place, a new home. For a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by. Life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky. I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day, 'cause I found my way.